Hello, back in the shed again. Goose-neck microphone extension. Threaded at both ends. Not quite sure what thread it is, I've forgotten. But I wanted to use it as a camera mount so you could screw it to something, particularly in the shed, like the wall or ceiling's a bit too long. If you join two together, I've found that they have quite a lot of play in them, and it's not quite, and plus you've got something hanging down, so you're going to knock it. What I did was I've got a whole bunch of converters, one that I bought to make the top down a little bit further because I didn't have a die of that size, and I made a little brass converter to hold the camera mount so you can put your camera on the end. So that side's taken care of. This end, I was able to buy another converter, hollow converter. Doesn't have to be hollow, but it is, and a washer that fits exactly around the end of that. That's really good. And I just got a couple of brackets. I tried it with one bracket first, just the top one, but there was again a lot of play in there, so I've just put two brackets, butted them up against each other, put a bolt through there and a nut. Now the bolt I made the right size by, hang on, where's the camera? I just punched it's a threaded bar that I put through, cut off, and I just punched to the right size to make it a bolt. It doesn't have a lot of tension, but it's the right size for what I wanted because it didn't have a bolt that gauge and that size. And then I just screw this on. And I had the idea was to have these little things mounted around the shed. So all you'd have was the brackets on a wall. Come, screw this on, and you've got that position. Unscrew it, take it to another set of brackets, screw it on, and you've got that position. So I was thinking, well, I'll put them beside the bench here and power tools and this and that. Well, I tried that, and when you've got them up somewhere, they're always there and they're in the way. And if I wanted it for the bench here, again, it would be sticking up and I'd have to keep unscrewing it, put it away, and then put it back when I wanted it. And I thought I need something that's easier to sort of, and I don't want to have to keep unscrewing things, because when you've got the camera on the top, it'd be nice to pick it up and move it around to other areas. And I've been trying to think of a way to do this, and not entirely sure yet, but I think I've stumbled upon it just by looking at this. Now, when I screwed these into the wall, obviously you take the top thing off and you've got to screw one or two holes. I thought, wouldn't it be good if you could put it in and lock it down? So I had a thought of a piece of metal strapping, sort of a flat bit of metal but bent out slightly and back in again, and you could just shove that in there and that would hold it. And I thought, again, there's potential for a lot of wiggle because it's only being held by one side. Then it came to me, what about, and I don't know if this is going to work yet, but we're going to try it, if I made this hole bigger at the bottom and cut a slot up to the top hole on both of these, that would allow me to put it onto some dome-headed screws and then slide it down, and that would lock it in position because it couldn't pull out from the... It's tricky, but if you think of... I haven't got anything to hand, but if you've... like a clock or something that you hang on a screw on the wall, they've got that sort of keyhole-shaped arrangement in the back, and that's sort of what I'm aiming for, but a much bigger affair. So let's have a go at doing that and see if that works, because if that works, what's going to happen is I can just put two screws about that far apart in things around the place It just went for a quick roll. So I can put things around the place and just pick this thing up and go clunk, right? Film there, pick it up, clunk, film there, pick it up, clunk. And there's room for modification too. Right, the first thing we need is some dome head screws. And they need to be, well, I want them to be bigger than that, so something like this. Actually, that's ideal because that's the right size. That keeps the top captive. Remember, the bottom hole is going to be bigger, so it'll be able to fit over the head, slide up, and that will stop it from coming loose. So that's the size we want. That's 2 of those. And then I have to measure. Oh, well, actually, no, I don't have to measure because I can mark the size of the holes for the screws after I've done the slot. That's okay. Alright, so we need to drill holes in the bottom ones. Now I have to be careful I don't do the wrong ones, so I'm just going to, well, I'll probably be drilling from the top, so I'm just going to put a mark here and here, because once you've got the thing apart it can get confusing, so yeah, I mark things out. Alright, disassemble this drill press. Computer, switch on the drill.
Okay.
Okay. Hot, hot. Okay, that theoretically should be the right size. Ho-ho! Perfect. That's exactly right. 4. So I need to do that again on that one. Now that's closer to the thing. Anyway, you get the picture. I'll be back when that's done. Right. Well, that's done. So if I reassemble this as it was, that's the hole at the top, that went up that way. Now I should be able to see. Okay, so in and down. Right, that's right. So the screws, yeah, so I need them that far apart when I drill the hole, and I can just take the centers from there. That's okay. So now we have to make slots up to here, and I don't think I want to use the big angle grinder because it's, I think we'll get the Dremel out. That will be the way to go. The Dremel's the way. Alright, we are going to need, got my gloves, we're going to need the Dremel. Why are you taking that bit of string off the wall? Because the Dremel lives up on a pulley that comes down, and I have another little loop that goes over there to keep it at the right height to use. Clever. Got the gooseneck extension on, and we need some cutting discs. These are quite clever. Well, we use one that's already been used that says metal. Well, it says ethyl, but that'll do. And we get the little Batman thing. And we put it through, turn it around, and it all locks in. That's it. So we now fit that into the into the end, which I've tightened up, and I need to put that, there we go, fit that in there, and I take my little tool that I made for it out, tension it up, and I know I should be using the spanner, but that's good enough for the girls I go out with. Alright, let's get viced up. Right, we're chucked up, not chucked up, viced up, and chucked up. Let's give this a go. We have breakthrough. We have breakthrough. Okay, pliers, because there ain't no way I'm touching that. Oh, now it's on the ground. Pick it up in case it gets near anything plastic. That's gonna be really hot. Okay, that looks good to me. I mean, it could do with a bit of filing and tidying up, but okay, yeah, there we go. Let me see if I can show you. It's really hot, so I'll do it this way. So that goes through and up and locks in. Keep forgetting I've got gloves on. I can touch it if it's hot. So yeah, it goes through and up. That's exactly what we want. So a little bit of filing and tidy up, and I'll show you what we've got when we're finished. Right, that's looking bloody good. So if I put that back together a little more permanently, actually, hang on, yeah, that's right, that's the way we want it. Now the second one, now you'll notice a marked difference between the first one and the second one. It's a little bit carried away on the wrong side of the line, couldn't see what I was doing, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not being marketed or anything like that. So as long as it works, it's got to be functional, ladies and gents. That's what it's got to be. So we screw this back together again. That's lovely. And give it a bit of a helping hand there. Doesn't need to be, you know, completely, just that'll do. So we're going to put a mount for it on here for a test. So roughly how high are we going to be? Let's screw our post on. So sort of maybe there, so that I can bend it over, and I wouldn't need it higher than that, would I? About there, I think. So, and of course I don't have my marking things to hand, so a little rat tail file. Just put a little hole there and there. I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing, but I've made 2 marks. Don't use files for making marks, they're not made for it. Use your thing that's missing. No, there it is. Use your punch. Actually, the holes are pretty good like they are. Alright, let's do a couple of pilot holes, get some screws in, and then let's see. Alrighty, now we've got the last of the screws in. I don't actually, that might be a bit too far. Just sort of trying to work out how far to put them in. Oh, I don't know. Let's try that. Okay, here's the moment of truth. A little bit too far screwed in. Get out. I've screwed them in too far, and now I've jammed it. A little bit of adjustment later. The bracket was bent from where I was drilling it. It had bent over a bit, but anyway, so we can put that on there, plunk it in, and look, Le Camera standoff thingy, and you can bend it to whatever angle you want. Now, I've also been busy while... Oh, there we go. Look. More screws. So I can put it here. And then I have one right in front of the drill press. It's too close, but I can... Look at that. I've got a camera thing there. And when I'm not filming and I don't want it there, it just comes up and out. Actually, those holes could be a wee bit bigger at the bottom. But anyway, and over here, look. Bandsaw cam. And also side shots and things like that. That'll be good. Do you know what I'm thinking? If I put a double-ended screw in here... No, that's not going to work, is it? Yes, it will. Yes. So if I had the screw up that way as well, you could put this on this way and use it the other way. Clunk, clunk. Yeah, I could put something like up higher so it would hang down. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I might have a think about that though. Well, guess what you're sitting on? You're sitting on the freshly made, well, newly made camera mount. It's great. I'm quite happy with it. It's going to help out a lot for me filming things. I've got another one up there above the shed that the GoPro sits on, but there's no reason I can't make another set of brackets for the bottom of it, and then I can have two of them to move around. I'll see though. I don't know that I'd need two up at the same time, but we'll see. Anyway, it's better than, you know, vandalising phone boxes and mugging old ladies. I don't know. I like mucking around in the shed. Is it my only vice? I don't think so.